I need to share this. Copy link. All right. We're live. Are we live? Can you say? Can you tell? Can you tell? Can you tell? Can you tell?
Yes.
Yay. All right. This one is. What was our last one? Let me check. Let me check what our last one was. That makes sense. I have to connect to the internet. I see someone on. Hello. We're outside today. Jared. Let's see how this is going to work. I'm going to drain this battery fast. All right. We're outside right now in a local park because it's a wonderful day. Clouds in the background, which means I'm not getting blasted by the sun. Down here in the south, that's a real problem. Probably more real than freezing to death is heat stroke and heat stress and things like that. So let me go down here. I forgot what our letter was. I feel out of place. No, our lives. No, that's not what I'm looking for. What am I looking for? Come on now. New channel. Here we go. That's not what I'm looking for. Playlists. I don't have lives. Although I do have my playlists. Beginning modules. Watch. Oh no, I'm in the wrong one. That's why. I think we did fire last. So we will do gifts of nature. Gee, gifts of nature. It seems obvious that that's the thing that we could talk about. But one of the interesting things about the gifts of nature is that it's one of those gifts that keeps on giving. So on both sides, we're going to look at survival mentality. If we're going to go back to that, survival mentality is not one of surviving against all odds. You see this in the movies a lot, where the protagonist is just they true grit. They've got the grit to get whatever needs to be done, regardless of their own personal consequences or anything of that nature. It's all right. Orient. Here we are. It's one of battle and struggle. It's one of battle and struggle, and in the movie and TV industry, if there isn't a struggle, there isn't a story, and if there isn't a story, they've got nothing to tell you. So they want to show you that there's a struggle. Which creates a predominant social belief that if you're in a survival situation, you need to travel further away so that the sound does not pick up on both sides.
Sound all the time. I just need to see how far behind I was.
Okay. So my interpreter.
Hi.
Because I can't. I don't know why. Whenever I get live on the mobile devices, the texts and the comments don't actually show up for me. I can see them on the laptop or the desktop, but I can't see them otherwise. So I've got a moderator in logged in so that she can tell me things that's being said and or um, let me know when there's a troll or something like that. Anyway, sometimes it's good not to know, right? Predominant social understanding of survival as being a struggle, which it can be if we're not loaded up with, if we don't preload some things before we go out into the woods. And one of the things is the attitude. So I don't know, there's a lot of people that really haven't put these two things together, is the fact that there are survival situations that have come about and people have died um, and spent, I don't know, a week alive in the wilderness environment and just couldn't, it was too much of a struggle. And so they died a week, after a week of being in that environment. And then there's people in society who, I mean, it's a fad sometimes where they will go on a fast for 40 days, 30 days, and it's a water fast. So they drink nothing but water, and they stay alive for 30 and 40 days. What makes them different? What makes them able to last longer than a week when the other person in a very similar environment, it wasn't overheating, it wasn't body heat loss, it wasn't winter or summer or anything like that. They just died. They died of I don't know, hopelessness. So you look at the attitude, you got to look at the point of view in the attitude. We have the attitude at Woodland Warriors and in Old Ways Training that spend as much time as you feel comfortable in wilderness environments, in outdoor environments. To it's like spending time with an old friend. When you go out into the woods, you are spending time with someone who is who has your back. But just like any other human being, if you don't ask correctly, they're going to be upset at you. They're going to be offended. Be like, "You're so arrogant for saying that you deserve this. What are you talking about?" Or you can do it from the other point of view. Say you've struck and you've got a coal for the fire. So let's link it back to the last one. And you've got this fire bundle in your hand and you're trying to blow it into flame. But if you're not asking for it, if you are saying, "I did everything I was supposed to do, give me fire," it's not going to work like you want it to. It's just not going to do that. But if you go in there and you do the same things, you do the same actions, and you get this, you're blowing this into the flame, and you're like, please, give me fire. I need some fire, and I know that you've got it in you to help me out with that, and this would be an amazing thing. And let me be grateful for the fire you're about to provide me. And when you do that, poof, there's fire, and you can continue to survive. So learning to reorient to a point of view of life gives me things. In our martial art, Jared, think about this. Certain times we go to the you've been on the inner circle groups a few times, and oftentimes the sensei will say you have to approach this kata, this technique, as a oh, look what you gave me, this is amazing, this is what I wanted this whole time. The whole cat mentality of, I meant to do that, whatever it was. You can see a cat fall from a tree and get up, lick its paw, and go like, "Yep, do you like that? It's like there's nothing you can do to upset this cat. The cat doesn't think that there's anything they're doing wrong, which isn't the same thing as being arrogant. It's just an attitude of accepting the things that happen in your life as if they were gifts from nature. So today's letter is G in the Bushcraft A to Z system, and this one is about gifts of nature and the daily thing that you can take with you is that attitude. So in this thing, we're going to give you both something that's bushcraft oriented and something that's life oriented to help help people understand that these things are more than just outdoor woodland activities. They can grow and become a part of how you approach the world. So think about it from this point of view of like nature gives you gifts. Like uh, there's no medicine. Like they say things are man-made and things are nature-made. Nothing was made. Nothing has ever been made without the materials already in nature. Now, there's ways to pervert nature, um, but aspirin comes from the bark of the willow tree. They just separate everything and take out the thing that makes it make sense, makes the pain go away, and then give that to you in pill form. That's what aspirin is. Um, things like anti-inflammatories, like turmeric. Um, there are so many things. There's a story in a video that I've seen recently where this lady goes into a doctor, and it's about arthritis on her hands. She can't even turn the turn signal of her car on without it hurting. And they give her everything that they could possibly give her. The doctor finally says, you're going to need chemo. And so she went to a friend of hers, and he said, just here, get some turmeric and take a whole lot of it. Take a buttload of turmeric. It's all it is. It's a supplement. And there was a regimen, though. I mean, you don't do things just willy-nilly. Organize it, control it. So there was was it two times in the morning, 2 pills in the morning, 2 pills at night for a week, and it tapered off. A month later, I think it's 3 months later, she goes back to the doctor. She goes, or he asked her, what you been, did you get that chemo? And she says, nope, I've been doing turmeric. And he says, that's great stuff. I take it myself. There's some things to think about on that point of view. There's a strong correlation to what you choose to bring into your body and how healthy you are. Now, it's still a simple equation. Outgoing energy needs to either equal or be greater than incoming energy. So the food you eat, that's incoming energy. And if you don't use it all, it will get stored somewhere. It doesn't just get crapped out, pooped out. It will be stored because it's still a useful thing. And our bodies can become hoarders in that way. But if we create a situation where the number of fuel coming in is less than the number of fuel exiting our body through usage, then it's a simple equation. It's a simple equation, and it works for anyone and everyone who works that equation. It's a beautiful day. Wow. I am in the city, so we got a lot of background noise. I apologize. But it's one of the more brand new parks of this county. There's lots of kids here. It's really, really, really cool. There's a breeze. It's a cool breeze. The temperature is warm enough to where the cool breeze makes sense. This is awesome. This is awesome. Lots of people, when studying wilderness survival or bushcraft or any of that arena, will oftentimes gravitate towards certain things. Something that's a common gravitation is edible and medicinal plants. The fauna or flora edible or flora medicinal. And oftentimes people won't know what they really got themselves into because encyclopedias, multi-volume encyclopedias can be written about our plant brethren. But a lot of times what I'll do when I do a edible plant seminar or presentation locally, what I do is I've got a pamphlet that I've created, a small booklet really, and it's of the most commonly seen plants in the area. So if I was to go somewhere else and say up to Michigan or Pennsylvania or Virginia, Maine, maybe even out west, Montana or anything like that, I would actually research those plants because it's important to know the plants that are in your area. That being said, there are plants that are pretty much prevalent everywhere. Pine tree, for example. Who doesn't know what a pine tree is? Or would not be able to recognize a pine tree when they see one. And knowing that you can make pine needle tea from the needles means you immediately have a nutrition source. If you've got water and a way to boil it up, you've got nutrition source. I wouldn't eat the needles. I mean, they are leaves. They're technically leaves, and so I would not treat them like lettuce, though. The gifts of nature are not only abundant, but also prolific. There's so many different things in nature that you can get that cure and so many different ailments that if we studied them as a society, we would put most doctors, 80% of the medical industry would be out of a job. But gifts of nature. Gifts of nature. That's what the reason why we have aspirin, one of the reasons why it's in that form is because it's been used for generations, 16th, 15th century, and even earlier than that, because they knew that they could do that. They get the bark, wash the bark, clean the bark, and then make a poultice out of it, or like chew it up and poultice, mix it with saliva, put it on the wound, or something like that. You just making the poultice itself would cure a headache. They realized that. But what put it in pill form is the science revolution. A lot of people don't get that was a natural revolution, but I believe, and I will call it a revolution to the day I die. There was a scientific revolution that made and it makes sense. It made sense. Any news? It made sense that from a scientific point of view, what you do is you take out all the things that might be variables. That way you focus on just the one. Yeah, what's her comment?
Technique FPV says Kylie.
Technique FPV.
Yes.
Oh, hey, buddy. How you doing? Yes. Well, we're doing Bushcraft A to Z, and today we're on G, and that's on the gifts of nature. But I haven't seen you in a good long while. This guy is really cool. He does the first person view hovercrafts, the drones, and he's gotten into that group and a little bit further away from the bushcraft. But hey, he still says hi, so I still appreciate it, because today is gifts of nature, and the daily life thing is to learn to appreciate and appreciate how life gives us things that we may or may not have chosen to want at the time, but that it's still useful and we can use it, whatever it is. Like, think about Jocko Willink, and he's a Navy SEAL, ex-Navy SEAL, who is now very prevalent in the business and leadership arenas when it comes to presentations and such. And one of the things he says is good. So, delay in production, good. We can focus on product development. Rainy day outside, good. We can do meditation. The job we wanted and applied for told us no, good. We can get better at our at our interview skills, with more interviews, going to more places. So his thing is good. And if you search YouTube and search Jocko Willink, Jocko Willink, and the word good, it'll pop up, and probably in a few different iterations, because people have reposted and remixed that for a good long while. But that's the attitude. That's the attitude, the cat's attitude of, yeah, I meant to do that. It's the same one as going, good, whatever happens. A couple of lives ago, I did, we had some technical difficulties and I couldn't log in. For some reason, I would choose to go live and it would just spin. It would never say you are live. And so then what I did is I got on Facebook, and I did it on Facebook, and then downloaded it, uploaded it to the same playlist. So I've got the same thing. So it's just, if you have a goal worth pursuing, just because the next step on the goal isn't where you wanted it to be, doesn't mean you can't take another step somewhere in the direction of your goal. So just keep that in mind. That's another attitude of perseverance, the attitude of the ninja, that whatever happens, if you have to adjust, but your goal is still your goal, and you're not going to be, excuse me, I'm not trying to give you a hug or anything, although I'm good, I like that. I just wanted my water. That was it actually came up. Usually it goes away. Yep, seen that. Hi, Lee. And then Jared, that was a couple of weeks ago. You were on E. Oh, wow. Yeah. It's coming up now, so I'm actually liking that. I can see it. E, what was E? Edible wilds and plants. Yes. What 2 did I do? Jared, do you remember what 2 I did? I don't. Every day, and that's talking about our plant brethren.
A couple of weeks ago, you were on E.
Yep, it's what came up, and it just, for some reason, maybe it's because I leaned forward and came close to the camera, but now I can see comments.
Oh.
All right. So we've got this is our Woodland Warrior program. You'd like this too. So I've got wrist things that have the Shikina Hadamitsu Daikomyo on them. I give them to new students so that they always have that with them. It's just another form of talisman, just like anything else, just like the omomori and things that you may have seen before. But I've got them on my water bottle, so I always have extras. And if I want to give one away, and that kind of a deal, where if I talk to someone and they're interested in what I'm saying, then I can give them a wrist bracelet. It's always important to pause for the cause. Pause for the cause. Good buddy of mine told me the story of his playing cards, and one way to make sure no one's doing any bad cheating or whatever is to if someone takes a drink, everyone takes a drink, and that's pausing for the cause. That's at least that's where it came from. We're using it now more in a the cause is hydration, because if you train your if you train your bladder to be able to, or your stomach to be able to take in and use lots of water, then when it comes to a survival situation, your body's used to a lot, which means not having a little will start the survival mechanisms inside our own body that say, all right, we're going to conserve water. All of a sudden, you can live longer, at least from that point of view. But that's about all I've got. So we covered edible plants two a couple weekends ago. The last time I was on was we did fire with the flint and steel onto char cloth, or not flint and steel, but the fire steel, different thing. But the little rod, the ferro rod, where you can strike it, it's got all these sparks. Next one is H. Ooh, H is interesting. In fact, it's pretty apropos considering the moving from spring and coming closer to summer. H, I, J, K. So if you're new to this, I've got a contest going, and if I remember next time, I'll bring the gift, the award for winning the contest. But the contest parameters are: you can be anyone who is not an official teacher of the Old Ways training. It does not include the WISE Guild, Wilderness Instructors of the Southeast. It does not include that. That's its own thing, its own entity, and so there's no conflict. If any one of the instructors from WISE want to participate, they can. You have to be an official instructor of the Old Ways Training or Woodland Warriors program to be disqualified. However, the qualifications are: guess the next subject of the Bushcraft A to Z. So we've done, this is G for Gifts of Nature. The next one will be H. So in the comments, either now or in the chat or in the comments, sometime between now and the next time we go live, an hour before we go live, you comment, I think the subject will be blank, whatever you think it is. The most number of correct guesses at the end of the series, we'll get together and I'll send you your gift, which is a Bushcraft spoon carving kit. So you've got a small knife that's for detail work. You've got a spoon carving knife which has the blade. The blade turns up like that, so you can scoop out the bowl of the spoon. I love plastic. And a strap, some compound for that strap, and a little leather carrying case, leather strap. So cool little thing. It's got little blade covers as well, because that's dangerous stuff. They come crazy sharp. And I'll at the end of the series, the person with the most correct guesses. So here's the thing: if no one else comments and and you've got one correct guess, you win. Simple math. So anyway, next one is H, and we've got a few of them. I might actually, what I might do is go live more than once a week to get back on track. But just I won't go live in an hour from now because that's kind of stupid. But at the same time, that doesn't give anyone an opportunity to guess for that next one. So there's always going to be a gap, at least a few days. But that's what that is. All the way to X, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Yep. Q, R, yep. M, N. Yep, got them all. It's good stuff. Anyway, guys, it's going away again. What? There's a flash that comes on the screen and then it goes away. Maybe if I cover it up for just a second. Nope, it's not coming back. I tap. Comment? Ah, that was a good guess. Would it be bad if I told you whether it was right or wrong? I don't know. Wrong. But I like where your mind's at. I'll give a clue. It's very appropriate for the summer. Very appropriate. A very appropriate subject to cover for the summer. All right, guys. Until next time, get lost, but never lose your way. Where am I at? How do I stop this thing? I don't know stuff. Hey, are you sure you want to stop streaming? Bye.